Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome into St. Mary's Soccer right here on the Rattler Athletic Network as well as KSAT 12 ABC. Joey Zanaboni high above Sigma Beta Chi Field for you. I'll be your larynx as well as your brainstem as the St. Mary's ladies battle the Mustangs of Midwestern State. Special shout out to any Midwestern State fans we have with us out there in internet, radio, and television land tonight. A big time howdy to you. Rattlers trying to take down the Mustangs here at home. This is just the third home game of the season for the Rattlers, but plenty coming up on the agenda. This club is going to be back in town on Saturday. Rattlers right now 2-6, but last time they were here, thought they played pretty gosh darn well against a tough Texas A&M International squad. The Dust Devils won the ball game 3-1, but the Rattlers outshot them in terms of balls put on frame 6-5. Had a lot of chances. In the end, the Dust Devils were just able to open it up late and score a 3-1 win. We know that Corwin Rich's squad is ready to go. He is rearing to get back on track. Club 2-6 on the year. I think this is definitely a winnable game tonight against the Midwestern State Mustangs. It's been a little while since these two clubs did meet up last, met in 2015. We've got starters here for you. First for the St. Mary's Rattlers in net is going to be the senior from Cedar Park, Texas, number 0, Aaron Longford, backed up by number 2, Ashley Dozier, number 4, Leah Whitaker, number 6, Alexia Maldonado, number 7, Miranda Narvaez, number 8 is Gabby Olson, who was the Pizza Patron player of the game a week ago against Texas A&M International. It'll be Lauren Malui, number 11, number 14, Megan Copeland, number 17, Olivia Bachelet, number 22, Riley Keeney, and number 27, Alessandra Rivera backing her up. For the Midwestern State Mustangs, it's going to be in net number 29, Aubrey Pettit, backed up by number 2, Nicole Marsalek, who's been a standout defensively, number 7, Avery Lewis, number 8, Kelly Canistra, who's been a star offensively, number 12, Senna Garcia out there, as is number 13, Valentina Carvajal, number 14 is Heather Vanderloo, number 19, Taylor Schott, number 21, Imani Moorlock, another solid player this year for Midwestern State, number 26, Randy Heaton, number 30, Michael Wilson, and number 31, Emma Bailey, rounded out for the Mustangs. They are in the black and yellow kits. They'll be attacking left to right. Rattlers in the white and blue with the gold lettering. They will be attacking right to left. St. Mary's and Midwestern State about to kick it off here on a fine Thursday evening in San Antonio. Again, thanks for being with us here on the Rattler Athletic Network as well as KSAT 12 ABC. A little bit cooler here as the sun does set. Temps just into the 90s today. Now the sky, a beautiful mix of blue, gray, and some purple clouds flecked up there. We've got the moon almost full. It is showing itself as Midwestern State and tries to push forward off the opening tap. We are underway here at Sigma Beta Chi Field. Rattlers quickly take it away. That's Alessandra Rivera who's going to drop it back to the back line. Pressured by Senna Garcia. And it's rolled forward toward the near corner, run down by Imani Moorlock, senior out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. She went to Rio Rancho High School and does slot this into the middle. Rattlers 2-6 overall this season, 0-3 in LSC play, but again, played pretty well against the Dust Devils. I certainly thought that the squad had a real chance at winning that ball game, but just could not quite pull it out. The Midwestern State Mustangs, meanwhile, 1-7 on the year, and they are trying to get back on track themselves after just a season-opening win. Ryan Spence's squad, though, some real potential on this team. He told me before the game he's trying to prevent the Rattlers from spreading out too much, trying to keep them contained. Ball in the near corner. It's dropped back by Canistra. Looking there for Imani Moorlock, and it's poked out by the Rattler defense. Into the corner, Canistra on the end line. From the chalk, tries to center, knocked down by a Rattler defender and swept out of bounds by Leah Whitaker. The Rattlers starting a long stretch at home, hardly here to start this season, but settling in at Sigma Beta Chi Field, which was in action last, with the men's side taking down St. Edwards on Saturday, thrilling 2-0. Lone Star Conference W for the Rattler men. Trouble clearing here. Sticking a boot in there was Avery Lewis. junior from Los Lunas, New Mexico, went to Hope Christian High School. She takes it out of bounds. The Rattlers give it away. And trying to control it was Carvajal in the middle. The Rattlers push it forward. Olsen shot it outside and some tripping here. That'll give the Rattlers a restart just past midfield. And down is this Rattler. It's Narvaez who took the tumble. The whistle comes out, and our center referee, John Villalobos, signaling to the sideline member of the training staff, going to have to come out and check on Miranda Narvaez, who's been great on that right side in an attacking role this year. Like she maybe hurt her lower back there. Back to her feet, though, and going to be checked out before we get back going here with 42:53. And still the play in this opening half. If you're just joining us, haven't missed much. Rattlers and the Mustangs of Midwestern State battling tonight at Sigma Beta Chi Field. Narvaez checked out here. Corwin out on the field and just making sure everything is all right. And from a distance, Narvaez walks it off. And the Rattlers will put it on the tee. Right now, Dallas Baptist is the top of the card in terms of the conference standings at 4-0, 7-0-1 overall. St. Marys, Midwestern State, both giving chase. Good ball there, headed at the top of the box, though, by the Mustang defense. Rattlers trying to put together the first attack and drawing a whistle in the middle of the field. St. Marys 0-3 conference play, 2-6 overall. Midwestern State 0-4, 1-7, and then there is one tie as well for the Mustangs this season, but a lot of ways to go and a lot of room to move up for both of these clubs. And pressure here forces Morlock to give it back to Wilson. Head forward. Rattler defense having none of it. Good scoop up, good footwork, middle of the field. Rivera trying to give it to Whitaker on the run, but just a little bit long on there. That was some nice dribbling by Rivera, the junior out of Spring, Texas. See if the Rattlers can connect something cleanly out of the middle of the field. Olsen, who was solid against Midwestern State, had a goal. Plays it all the way back through Longford. The senior from Cedar Park will quarterback this out. Longford trying to help the Rattler goalkeeping unit post the first game in the last few without at least 3 goals going in. Each of the last 3 games, Rattler defense has given up 3 goals. Cited for the foul there was Kinney. Mustangs tried to restart quickly. Longford ultimately, though, doing the clearing. Out of the hot air balloon. Headed in the midfield by the Mustangs. Getting the knocking on it was shot, and the physical play does continue. And 3 fouls in the last couple of minutes. Rattlers and Mustangs going down in the middle of the field. Thought this would be a hard-fought match between these two clubs. And certainly both of them hungry to right the ship on the 2019 season. Good news is that the Rattlers have played well at home this year. Scored a win early September 19th against Northwestern Oklahoma. Thrilling 2-1 victory. Couldn't pull it out against Texas A&M International, but going forward with more games coming up on the home slate, sure that these Rattler wins will start coming as they get more comfortable here in San Antonio. Whitaker, little nutmeg work. And Copeland touches it on into the middle. Good passing here. Malui sending this forward, but just a little bit long. On the feet, and touched by Aubrey Pettit, the 5'6" sophomore goalkeeper from Freeport. Went to Brazos Wood High School. Before this, went to Angelina College. And picks this up. Midwestern State's 0-7-1 since the season opening debut over New Mexico Highlands. Maybe some signs of life, though, for the team as they've gotten off to a pretty good start in terms of controlling the ball here. Rattlers still haven't quite pushed forward. A flick on there off the head of Malui. Wanted to spring Maldonado. Alexia Maldonado, she's been sharp this year. She and Serena Frank leading the club in goals scored. Narvaez, who was checked out by the trainer after an early spill, leading his club with 2 assists. Ball in the corner. Bailey, after getting a break, that skimmed the top of a Rattler head. Couldn't make a ton of it, at least stopped up partially. Midwestern, though, they are going to go for their first corner of the game. In fact, the first corner for either club here. 39:08 still to go, first half. It's going to be taken by Senna Garcia, midfielder, sophomore from Albuquerque. Went to La Cueva High School. She will tee it up, and this might be the first test here for Longford. Senna pushes launch, low laser, Longford! And covering this, well done. Able to wrap it up like a shaved Pomeranian in a hotel bathrobe. A lot of times at those hotels, they won't let you bring Pomeranians in, but if they do, I found that you can at least fit 2 or 3 of them under one of those very generous hotel bathrooms. Always nice and soft, terry cloth. Good work by Longford to cover it up. This one is out of bounds at midfield off of a Rattler foot. Imani Morlock, senior out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. She was one of the offensive players that Spence told me before the game was a real standout for them this year. Canistra being the other. A lot of it has gone through Morlock and Canistra offensively. Marcelak, who's just a freshman, has really given this program a lot of reason for optimism going forward in the back. She's been terrific defensively. Stepping in the midfield was Rivera. Rattlers just failing to control there, though. Not a ton of possession so far for St. Mary's. One corner in the game. It belongs to Midwestern State. Had a decent chance off of it, but neither club has gotten my heart racing in terms of very close opportunities here. Nice touch out of the back. Forward with it was Copeland. Slotting here. Maldonado can't quite run on to that. Sent out of play rudely by Midwestern State, but the Rattlers will continue to push forward. Momentum starting to come to the home team side. Whitaker centralizing here. Mustangs able to chip it away, breaking loose with it. Carvajal putted it forward. Lewis trying to fend off Whitaker. Wanted a whistle. Looked like there were some hands being used there. Nothing done, though, by the center referee, John Villalobos. He's joined tonight by Chris Gordon and Memo Sanchez out on the lines. Olsen, that'll clearly draw a whistle there, and the physicality continues. Little talking to here for Michael Wilson. Villalobos exchanging thoughts on that. No cards yet, but the way this has gone, I wouldn't be surprised if one comes out before long. Copeland, wonderful ball. Helium in it, and just a little long for the Rattlers. Mistimed on the run and scooped up by the keeper, Pettit. Youngster, sophomore, 5'6". She's had certainly some good stretches this year. Midwestern State overall, they have been outscored this season 16-8. The shot attempts has certainly favored their opponents, 144-79. Give up about a goal and 3/4 per game, average less than 1 goal per contest. Their goalkeeping, the defense has not been bad, just have struggled to put the ball in the back of the net. St. Marys, 7 goals on the season through 8 games, just under a goal per contest. Wouldn't be surprised if this one was a hard-fought, low-scoring match. In the middle, Olsen couldn't win it. Coming away with it was Carvajal. Maldonado showing more grit with it. Finds Narvaez. Couple assists on the year for Miranda. Weaving through that Midwestern State back line. That was deflected. This is going to be a corner. Ultimately punched away by the diving Pettit before it could get out of bounds anyway. Pressure there defensively came from Schott. Excellent work by Narvaez. Even better from Maldonado to key up the attempt. With the wind at the back, St. Marys is going to launch the corner. Same side Midwestern had their corner from about 4 minutes ago. Opportunity brewing as these lights shine brighter under this beautiful purple and pink Texas sky. Rattler is looking to puncture a scoreless affair so far, just past the 10-minute in mark. Launch. Looks good. Punch by Pettit, and it just pinballs out of bounds. Looks like this will stay as a corner, but from the other side, Pettit got it, and it went off one of her defenders out of bounds. Chance now into the wind, about 8-9 miles per hour. Good ball served there, and see if we go right for it again. It's Whitaker going to punch this into the tackle box. Puts the bobber in the water. Pettit again going to the punch game. Arguably could have wrapped that up. Gets a fist on it. Still not out of trouble, though, are the Mustangs. Good turnage here. Rattlers. Oh, that's wonderful. Top of the box. Copeland settles down and runs it into a Midwestern State defender. I think that was Maldonado on the outside with the wonderful footwork. Just couldn't quite get it on frame, though. Midwestern State stands tall. Rivera sending forward. Whitaker had it briefly. Towed out now by Morlock. And picked up by Lewis, but the defense too strong by Olivia Bachelet. She was sharp in the last contest out here against Texas A&M International. Bachelet helped to create some chances for the club, and it was Olsen who had the goal scored on the assist by Michael Williams, but Bachelet was right in the thick of the action all afternoon, evening against those Dust Devils. Mustangs trying to play it through Wilson here. Went to an attacker, went through her legs. That was Canistra who had it slip by off the end line. Mustangs find nothing but the side of the goal, letting it roll out Longford. And it'll be booted loose by her. Nothing doing. Couple of goose eggs on the board right now. 32-10. After MSU sends it out of bounds off the foot there of Sena Garcia. Longford sends it right to the Mustang back line. Middle of the field, maybe controlled a little more by MSU so far. I'm talking to Corwin Rich before the game. He said he feels like there's a little bit of space and a little bit of opportunity that can be found between the midfield and the defense for the Mustangs. Rattlers are trying to exploit that here tonight, playing a 4-4-2 to start this game. Had 3 up top against the Dust Devils in the last contest on the 3rd. So again, going to an attacking style and seeing if this will maybe spur the offense on. Longford easy doings. Grabs this out of the atmosphere, sends it back into the ozone layer. Maldonado making this interesting, and Pettit making it less so. Decisively coming out, but Maldonado at least putting a scare into the Mustangs. Rattled out here off the foot of Heaton. Given to Wilson, the 5'5 junior. Springs it forward. Lewis trying to get it to the near sideline. Canistra plays it back through Morlock. Circulated into the gumball machine. Off of Heaton's leg. Trickles outside, though. Mustangs pick it up. Looking for that far corner again. Can the Rattlers cut this off? Longford on a skip. Knocks it down. Picks it up before it can cause any trouble. Extinguishes the flame. Relights the fire. High bounce here. Trying to get the skull on it. Not that cleanly was shot. And kept alive by Marsalek. Still in the air. Rattlers try to keep it in. Narvaez with the saving effort, but ultimately it does leak out of bounds. Sky starting to go dark. More comfortable, and these fans have come out here. October 10th. Many clad in green for Mental Health Awareness Day. Turnover in the back. Longford tried to cut it off. That's Lewis. And it's turned away at the last moment. Rattler defense on the recovery. And it was Bachelet who got that out. Holy moly. Bachelet jamming things up like that baggie of cat hair I left on the Xerox machine. Hey, I'll tell you what, you got to watch out for that cat hair around the Xerox machine. That is sensitive equipment. Longford tried to disrupt. Lewis had a chance. Bachelet sent it away. Longford on the second chance quickly does the extinguishing. Things starting to heat up here. Whitaker looking for something developing toward Malui. Not a bad idea. Sent it just behind Malui again. Just a little bit out of sync on these attacking efforts. You get the feeling, though, that it will be eventually on the same page for the Rattlers. They look to move to 2-1 at Sigma Beta Chi Field this season. Get the first W in Lone Star Conference play. How about this? Malui disrupted there. Tangling her up was Bailey. And chance, but nothing doing for the Rattlers again. Out of the middle. And now out of the back. Quarterback toward Narvaez. And just a little too much mustard on it. Out of play down that far sideline. It'll come out with 28:10 to go. And a sub waiting for the Rattlers of St. Marys. It is Williams who had the assist a week ago against the Dust Devils. Last action for St. Marys. Certainly this club is rested, will need all the energy here in this close game against Midwestern State. Whitaker helping Canistra to get more acquainted with the grass there right in front of her own bench. Michael Williams not going to be able to come on yet. Whitaker, who was a little frustrated with the refereeing earlier. Physical play there. Putted out. Morlock forward to Heaton. Settled down by Bailey. Loops it toward the box. Not great on the clearance. Bailey picks up some loose change, but throws it on the floor. Wide on the looping shot. And Micah Williams, who again had that assist against the Dust Devils. Beautiful play in the corner. Centered it for Olsen. Is going to get a chance to come on here as the first sub for the Rattlers. And out of the ball game is going to be Dozier. Ashley Dozier from Colleyville, Texas, the senior, is going to get a little rest here. Boot loose, Longford. Stepping toward it, Rivera. Rattlers wanted Narvaez. Olsen's attempt knocked down. Tries to scoop it back up. Bailey helping to push forward off the foot of Lewis, who had the best chance for either team just a few minutes earlier. Ends up with Longford. Tried to get it all the way to Malui. In the middle of the field. Scooping and rainbowing with it was Carvajal. And my couch cushion is coming out here. That went over my head. And my piece of protective furniture goes to waste. But again, I always do bring it up here in this open air press box. Hardly flinch as that one is taken out of bounds over my head. 25-53. Still to go in the half. Bachelet, who had the goal-saving effort, launches this. Bounce over the head of Maldonado. Cleared all the way toward Garcia. Clever on the footwork. Going to recirculate here out of the back. Shot. Pokes it forward. Rattlers take it away. Can we turn it into a counterattack? That was Williams on the steal. Bachelet out of the back. Trying to get something to develop into the middle. Good ball by Bachelet. Turn. Maldonado out to Narvaez. Malui pushing forward. Can we get it her way? Left for Maldonado in the corner. Real estate to work with. Closed down by Bailey. Centering effort. Not quite there. Mustangs get ahead on it. Clearance soft. Counter surge. Rattlers snuff it out. Header by Copeland. Gets it back. Has it taken away by Canistra. Morlock steps through it over the timeline. Slices it with the outside of the foot. Bachelet Gives it a ride downfield. Mustangs haven't let too much happen attacking-wise for the Rattlers, and heading to the ground there after the hitter was Taylor Schott. Training staff, I think, will have to come out to check on her. I think she got the hit on the Maldonado cross as well and was down just briefly after that. And she will head off the field under her own power, but looks a little shaken up here. Mustang's going to have to go to the bench as Schott exits with injury. Spence calling for the substitute. It'll be Sarah Stewart, 5'10", senior defender out of Flower Mound, Texas, Flower Mound High School, who does get the call here for the Mustangs. So we do hope everything is all right here for Schott, the 5'6" junior out of Justin, Texas, went to Northwest High School. Previously was at Texas A&M International. Spence, who was a star on the men's side at Midwestern State, also involved with the Texas A&M International program previously. He has been at the helm now for 2 seasons at Midwestern State and trying to help this club find some success here as we get into the middle part of this 2019 campaign. Another sub here for the Rattlers. Looks like it's Mackenzie Rich for Alessandra Rivera here. Rich into the game. She's from New Braunfels, Texas. Sophomore, 5'2" into the game. Rattlers so far have been able to stymie the Mustangs' attack, trying to connect something offensively. Club with a 2-1 win, comeback variety against Northwestern Oklahoma earlier this year. Tied fairly late 1-1 against the last opponent, Texas A&M International. Gave up a couple of second-half goals. Team has fallen behind 1-0 each of his first 2 games here at Sigma Beta Chi Field. Could that be changing? Maldonado mishits that. Thought she had an angle, sends it right into the protective screen behind the goal. Lasers it well wide. 23-16, decent look though. Pettit ready to try to get some breathing room. Lofted out. Touched forward by Morlock. Rattlers trying to keep it in this end. Whitaker has been pesky. Try to keep that in, and it looks like it did go off the Mustangs. Whitaker was calling for it. Villalobos ultimately made the decision. Whitaker with the left foot, chipping that over Maldonado. In the middle, touched loose. Garcia and played it forward. Rattlers having none of it. Copeland taps it outside. Push here with 22-28 to go, first half. Narvaez works through one defender, wants the middle of the field. Nope. Back toward the corner. And still battling for it. Outstanding tenacity by Narvaez, and draws a whistle. Plenty of jostling there. Looked like it was Bailey who was doing the shoving. And from just a couple of yards outside the box, top corner of it, far side, Rattlers will have a look and see who's going to take this one here. And it will be Whitaker who's taking the corners. 21-49. Set piece looks promising. 2 on the wall for the Mustangs. Early leads, elusive so far at home for the Rattlers. Could that change in a blink? Bailey plus one more on the fence here. Whitaker. Service. Head partial by the Mustangs. Dribbles toward the end line. Kept alive by the Rattlers. Recirculated toward the top of the box. And nothing doing. They won a Bachelet there. Good recovery. Taken back by Rich. Stepping forward and trying to take it away there from Heaton. Ends up out of bounds off her toe. That'll give the Mustangs a chance to sub in. It is going to be number 14, number 14, Heather Vanderloo, who comes into the game. And out here is Bailey after that foul, trying to recover after Narvaez got through the defense. Set piece by Whitaker. Looked somewhat promising, but deflected by the Mustangs as it got toward the danger zone. Loft loose. Taken out of the air by the Rattlers. One in the middle of the field. Excellent work by Rich, fronting there against Carvajal. Sprung toward Narvaez. Marsalek gets a foot on it, trying to get it back. Narvaez making that difficult. Ultimately ends up, though, in front of the Rattler fans on the far side. Boy, that moon so close to being full. And in the month of October, you see it get this full, you think anything can happen. And 3 weeks before Halloween, that one intended for Whitaker. Couldn't quite control it. Out of bounds. Mustangs are going to sub again, and this is going to be Avery Lewis coming out and Sarah Machado coming on. Rattlers will get a chance here as well. Serena Frank, who's been a real solid attacker this year, going to come on for Louis. Frank, she and Maldonado have been the goal scorers. Frank, 3 goals on the season, 6 points, 7 shots. Can she perhaps get an opportunity or two here late in this first half? Under 20 to go now. Maldonado off a bounce. Getting between her and the ball was Morlock, prevented anything from happening. Run down on the Rattler side by Rich. Squeaks through the defense. Garcia bottled. Touchback. Canistra toward the middle of the field. And turns it back now toward Morlock. Morlock toward the top of the box. Rattlers can't quite get it out of the trouble completely. Morlock off a tee. Disrupted, and a Rattler ends up just outside the box, down on the ground. Disrupting there rudely was Vanderloo. Hard play continues, both sides, and no sign of slowing down here for sure. It's tough. Olsen, I believe, the one who went down. Gets it on the far side. Swung now by the Rattlers. Whitaker calling for it down the near sideline. And again, a pass just behind a Rattler attacker. Whitaker somehow kept it alive. Good play. Mustangs try to get it out. Frank with her first touch. Gorgeous little give and go here. Sweeps it far side. And just a little bit long. Opportunity there. Couple of Rattlers. Nothing doing though. Narvaez tried to pick it up on the back end, and instead it was Pettit who did the scoop in. 17.5. Again, you have to think that eventually these Rattler attacking efforts, some of these through passes, some of these long efforts are going to connect on the mark. Question is when, and will they still have a chance to give us a lead? Boot loose, Longford, too long for Frank. Maldonado trying to run on to it. Morlock slips it out of bounds, nothing more. 16:58 to go. Rattlers with something promising. And now another substitute coming on the field. Fresh legs here. Tori Permillion going to take the toss. Whitaker, who's really been working hard out there today, going to get the opportunity for a little rest. Heck of an effort from Whitaker. Permillion on the toss. In the middle. Trying to get it back toward that near corner, but it'll give it to the Mustangs. Chances again continuing to brew for the Rattlers. A squad that has had its moments offensively this season. Team put together a 2-goal performance at Colorado Christian to open the season. Had that 2-goal performance against Northwestern Oklahoma here at home. So far in conference play, just 2 goals scored against 11 surrendered, but no time like the present to change that up. That looked like a hand there. No whistle. Micah Wilson, I thought, got a hand on it. Frank scoops up the loose change, but ultimately the deposit is right into the bank account of Pettit. Whistles have abounded from Villalobos, but there a play on, and that one more to the benefit, certainly of Midwestern State than St. Marys. Morlock on the toss from just about midfield. Just about 90 degrees here in San Antonio. Wind 7-8 miles per hour. Far side to near side under this purple, deep purple sky. Canistra plays it in the middle. Fight for it. Rattlers jar it partially out and continue to march out of the box. A lot of spin on the ball. And kept it alive briefly for the Mustangs. Chance there toward the top of the box for Marsalek, who had crept forward. Luckily, the Rattlers stand tall. Back line pretty sharp, stifling a couple of opportunities. Mustangs trying to shake the Diet Coke bottle up again. Can't put any Mentos in it. Out with it. Vermillion, good passing there toward Rich. Failure to get it forward though. Stymied by Marsalek, gets it back. Salinas, that's Alyssa Salinas, freshman from Wichita Falls High School. Tried to help start it forward. Rattlers take it back. 14 away from the 15-minute break, and we will go to the commercials here on LCTV. The Rattler Athletic Network, as well as KSAT 12 ABC. Appreciate you being with us, and we'll come back with stats, score, and a little bit more about the second half, about a minute before we get going there, with the second 45 of what has been a terrific match so far. Nothing on the scoreboard scoring-wise, but chances brewing both teams. Two subs here for the Rattlers. Looks like Kylie Van Holly and Alexis Lawrence are going to come on. Maldonado as well as Bachelet getting some rest here. A sub on for Midwestern State as well as Hannah Morrison, who's jogging on. 13:03 left here first half. Marsalek putting toward the middle. Midwestern trying to play it through the slot. Deflected toward Morrison. Stitched through the Rattler defense. And the balloon deflates into the hands of Longford. A little dangerous. Ultimately, though, Longford fairly easy to put that in the basket. Long boot. Could Frank make this interesting? Pettit, with the help of Sarah Stewart, making sure that it stays relatively boring, coming to the top of the box to wrap that up. On the outside, great step through by Narvaez. Will the Rattlers catch up to her? Narvaez, hip check, top of the box. Stewart sent her hard there. And Stewart not whistled. Narvaez in quite a bit of pain, still down on the grass. Rattlers take possession on that far side, but Miranda Narvaez, who's been knocked down unceremoniously a couple of times here in the first half, again sent down to the grass here. The training staff as well as Corwin Rich out on the field. Clock stops 11:53. Narvaez just about a minute in. Went to the ground about midfield. She's been so clever attacking, and hope she's all right. Hope she's able to stay in this game right now. We really have relied on her on the outside to start some of these attacks, and with her clever attacking efforts as well as the way that she can pressure the opposing team in the midfield, we would certainly miss her if she has to exit this game. Mustangs toward the sideline. Rattlers the same here. Everyone rehydrating as the clock does stop at 11:53. Still to go in the first half. Again, Narvaez down. Sarah Stewart not whistled there. Senior, though. Certainly got some pretty good contact there against Narvaez. Miranda on her back right now, but being helped up. And Narvaez favoring the left foot. Right foot is in the air, right leg is in the air, not able to put any pressure on it, and she will be carried off the field now by two members of the Rattler staff, including Corwin Rich. Just a wonderful takeaway from her there in the middle of the field. And the question was, could the offense catch up with her, give her a chance to center that ball? She really had no choice but to try to take on the defender herself. Narvaez, 5-foot junior from San Antonio, lowered toward the ground as she gets close to the sideline, and again favoring that left foot, not able to put any pressure on the right foot. She is supported off the field, and best of luck. We do hope she is all right. Certainly one of the key players on this club, and best wishes here to Miranda, hopefully able to get through this injury and return. Looks like the substitute has come on here. Looks like it's Tyann Piercy, who's come on for St. Marys. Tyann Piercy, number 23, sophomore from here in San Antonio, 5'6", getting the opportunity with Narvaez now on the sideline. Just south of 12 to go. Still plenty of time first half, and with this Rattler club, it does seem like a lot of the goals, both opposing and for ourselves, have come late in first halves. Usually a flurry of activity before the horn does go off, so we will see if the Rattlers are able to stick with that trend. Piercy getting her first touch. Slipped out of bounds by Morrison. Rattlers will push up, and it's going to be Alexis Lawrence who tosses overhead. Got it there briefly to Von Holly. Taken away by Senna Garcia. Looking to roll it up the bowling alley. And finds its way into the gutter. Again, Lawrence on the toss off the head there of Von Holly. Down that near side. Piercy will pick it up. Fire it in. This is Rich. Looking for the far side. Petted it easy enough. Gets the gloves on it. Not a bad idea. Spring toward that far side, and I thought for just a half a second might have something. Some of these toward the corners have been a little long or a little late for the Rattlers. Different formation today for the first time, going to 4-4-2, so a little adjustment, but attacking style, trying to take it to some of these opponents now, and I think this is a good time to experiment. Just the start of a long stretch of ball games at home for the Rattlers. Home field, looking to get these attacking efforts going. That looked dangerous in the middle of the field. Villalobos says play on. Now the whistle came out. Well, it was a touch late, but it did come out. Rich was battling there against Carvajal, and Carvajal stuck the boot up. Chance for the Rattlers to restart just inside midfield. Why not take a chance here? Pettit use the shin to try to get that out. Interesting choice. Got it out of bounds, nothing more. Still opportunity brewing. Lawrence from the near sideline hits it out of bounds. That restart was by Copeland. At least gave it a chance toward the top of the box. punched it forward, and it looks like one of the linesmen is saying that was out of bounds. Should be the Rattlers' ball. It is. On a toss. Stifled here, Von Holly. Jar out. Vanderloo trying to turn it. In the middle of the field, fending off a couple of Rattlers. Sarah Machado lets it breathe outside. Vanderloo runs it into a Rattler defender. Deflects out. Toss here for Midwestern State. Mustangs will catapult in toward the end line. Rolled into the box. Swept out. On the far side, headed away by the Rattler defense. 8 to go before the giant Ziploc bag of orange slices comes out. Sub here for the Mustangs. Michaelin Greenfield, 5'4" senior out of Westminster, Colorado from Legacy High School. Into the game, Sena Garcia out. Mustangs making a switch. Rattlers and Midwestern State getting late in the first half. Looks like Gabby Olson out for the Rattlers. Chance here. Mustangs can't quite piece it together. Runs long across the box. Good hustle by the Midwestern State attack, but they can't keep it alive. Hannah Morrison making a run at it. Can't afford a late goal surrendered here. If you're St. Mary's, played well enough to certainly go to half on level ground. Would hate to see Midwestern State find its way to a halftime lead. Threading the needle here. Morlock to Morrison in the corner. Good defense by the Rattlers. Lawrence able to get it out. Give Longford a chance to boot it loose. Victoria Villasenor now in the game for St. Mary's. As we said, Gabby Olson just came out when Garcia came out for Midwestern State and Greenfield came in. Morlock got a hit on that. Pokes it out of bounds. Chance here as Piercy pushes forward. Going to leave it back for Lawrence. Bounces it in. Lawrence gets it back. Has to go quick. Looking to get it in the middle. Frank turns it far side. How about this? And it's into the midst of Pettit. Quickly off the throw-in. Nice chance there on the far side for the Rattlers. Able to piece a little something together. But a shot right into the hands of the goalkeeper, Pettit. Midwestern State struggles to put it together on the other end. The shot was by Permillion on that far side. The save by Pettit. She's got a couple of those in this game. No saves officially right now for Longford, though she pounced on an early corner. And of course, Bachelet had that stop after Longford looked like she was beaten about 10 minutes later. Turned away at the top of the box. Rattlers just trying to get some oxygen to it. Kept in the shark tank here by the Mustangs. 4 and change. Plenty of time for a counter surge after this. Left in the corner. Poked loose, but not all the way gone. Marsalek feeds it toward the middle. Rattlers get a foot on it. Frank trying for the turnage here. Run down on the timeline and passed it by Morlock. Gives it to Pettit. Back to Morlock. Piercy coming up to try to make it more difficult. Swept outside. Stewart looking to swing it. Marsalek goes rolling. Picked up by Vanderloo. Marsalek quickly lasers forward. And Greenfield trying to run on to it. Rattlers get it out of bounds. 3:41 on the official game clock. Mustangs making me a little nervous there on the far side. Bounced in toward that far corner. Rattler defense going to have to deal with another ball in the air. Good header. Getting it out. Looked like Copeland. Sent toward that far corner again. That's given us a little trouble, especially with Narvaez having to exit the game with about 12 to go in the half. I did see she was walking very gingerly on the sidelines a few minutes ago, but still very much TBD as to whether she will be able to return. A key loss. Mustangs trying to make some noise on that side of the field. Good disruption there. And some tripping going on. And that was Michael Williams. Good takeaway. Sent tumbling. Williams trying to defuse another attack. And a card is issued to Midwestern State there. Thought it would eventually come out. Midwestern getting the first yellow of this game. And they will substitute Marsalek out. Kara Bates coming in for her. Again, card issued here to Midwestern State late first half, just under 3 to go. Mustangs now going to get the chance to get the substitute on Bates into the game, and out here is Greenfield after just a couple of minutes of action. And it looks like actually Marsalek was issued a red card. That was a red card on Marsalek. She is out of this game, and that is a huge, huge loss here. Marsalek, one of the key defenders. That was a red, not a yellow. Take back what we initially said. Stats were showing officially a yellow card to the MSU team, but that is a red for Marsalek, and Marsalek shown the door. So down here are the Mustangs. I was wondering they didn't get the sub on, and I was playing a little catch up there myself when Bates did not initially come on. How about this? Trying to take advantage with under 2. Opportunity brewing. Piercy can't quite get through the Mustangs on the first attempt. Top of the box. It's Lawrence, sweeps it back toward the top of the box. It rolls all the way to Pettit. Well, with Marsalek out, and this Mustangs team short-handed, 9 plus the keeper, obviously things favoring St. Mary's. Both clubs have lost a player on that far side of the field, and more pushing, more shoving, and some extracurricular activity as well. Wow. This is being taken to another level. Sarah Machado pushing there against Copeland, and not just going for the ball after it. She was pushing as well. Marsalek issued a red card shortly before this in the St. Mary's bench, letting Villalobos know how they feel about this. Just a talking to here. Haven't seen more cards come out for Machado. Settles down, pushes forward. Wow. Some jostling there. Will be a restart for the Mustangs. This is really something right now. Copeland was whistled for the foul. Did not go on Machado, but Machado is playing a dangerous game there with some shoving after the fact. 63 seconds. Still in the hourglass here as the boot is taken by Sarah Stewart. Hooks this one into the wind. Bounces down for Midwestern to handle. Machado turned away. Rattler's trying to get it out as this wind is really howling now. Really picking up here at St. Mary's in beautiful San Antonio, and Holy moly, how about this? Midwestern State and St. Marys, very hard fought. Half that here in the late stages. Marsalek shown the door. Gets a red card. Tossed from the ball game. A major feature here in the final few minutes, and that will loom large with one of the best young defenders in the conference out of this game. How about a late push here inside of 10 seconds? It won't yield anything. Frank can't run onto it. We go to the halftime break. They play the sheep noise. Here it's famous at St. Marys. Sends us to halftime. And we will go to the second 45. Still knotted. Scoreless. 0-0. First game, men's or women's, that's gone to halftime scoreless here at SBC Field this season. 0-0. Tremendous hard-fought match. We'll come back in 15 right here on KSAT 12 ABC, as well as the entire Rattler Athletic Network and LCTV Inc. Joey Zanaboni saying I'll be back in just 15 live from San Antonio.
Of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable. Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out. With our new mobile weather station, expect live storm tracking from both our studio and the road.
Expect updates and warnings straight from the storm.
And on KSAT.com, expect our roof cam to be streaming live. Protect your family with a new level of local team coverage. Your weather authority, KSAT 12 and the Storm Chaser. Expect more.
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions.
And to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable. Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out. With our new mobile weather station, expect live storm tracking from both our studio and the road.
Expect updates and warnings straight from the storm.
And on KSAT.com, expect our roof cam to be streaming live. Protect your family with a new level of local team coverage. Your weather authority, KSAT 12 and the Storm Chaser. Expect more.
tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions.
And to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable. Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out. With our new mobile weather station, expect live storm tracking from both our studio and the road.
Expect updates and warnings straight from the storm.
And on KSAT.com, expect our roof cam to be streaming live. Protect your family with a new level of local team coverage. Your weather authority, KSAT 12 and the Storm Chaser. Expect more.
Tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out. With our new mobile weather station, expect live storm tracking from both our studio and the road.
Expect updates and warnings straight from the storm.
And on KSAT.com, expect our roof cam to be streaming live. Protect your family with a new level of local team coverage. Your weather authority, KSAT 12 and the Storm Chaser. Expect more.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Rattler Athletics, right here on the Rattler Athletic Network, as well as KSAT 12 ABC. Joey Zanaboni here for you. St. Marys ladies soccer against Midwestern State, and what a ball game this has been so far. No scoring, but plenty of excitement, plenty of physical play. The Mustangs had just one shot in the first half. Rattlers had 5, couple of corners for the Rattlers on the same sequence, one from each side. Mustangs 1 corner, 1 on the corners there for the Mustangs, and 3 on the saves for their keeper, Pettit. Played all 45, came up with 3 saves. No saves officially for Longford. Did hop on a ball on a corner early. That represented a chance for the Mustangs. Bachelet took one away at the mouth of the goal. An attempt there by the Mustangs that almost netted them the 1-0 lead. 6 fouls by the Mustangs in the first half, 3 for the Rattlers. A late red card to Marsalek, a real star defensively. And looks like there was officially a yellow card that was issued earlier as well. That was about 3 minutes in. So we did have a yellow very early in the half and then a red very late in the half. Those are the official stats. How about this? Right out of the gate, Rattlers getting it forward. Maldonado! And played it to the far side. Almost worked in between the pipes there by a Rattler attacker on the far side. Good run. And using the upper body to try to put it in the net there, just wide, was Leah Whitaker. Boy, oh boy, a very good run, and Maldonado left it for her. Rattlers coming strong out of the gates. 1 goal might win this, and it would be certainly a hard-fought, well-earned victory. Again, 9 total fouls, 2 cards, 1 yellow, 1 red in the first half, so a lot of hard play between these two clubs, and still just 9 plus the keeper. For Midwestern State, obviously that'll favor St. Marys. Came out with 4 at the top to start the game, and no reason to relent offensively. Have to try to take it to this Midwestern State club. They'll be looking for counters here in the second 45 underway in it here. Just a minute or so gone. Rattlers trying to move to 2-1 at home this season, looking for the 3rd W overall. Both these teams looking for the first conference win. As we've said, a lot of great action here on the Rattler Athletic Network. And coming up, volleyball is at home here this weekend. Rattler ladies soccer at home as well. So keep it glued right here, and if you have the chance to come on out, make sure you do get out to SBC Field right around the corner. These ladies are going to be here once again on Saturday against Oklahoma Christian. That'll start at 1 o'clock. Then on the road on the 17th and 19th at Lubbock Christian and Texas Permian Basin. But right back at home on the 24th, 26th, 31st. Before wrapping up the home schedule on the 7th and 9th of November. Plenty of opportunities. Men will be back on Halloween the 31st against Texas Permian Basin. So come on out with the costumes, and we will see you here at SBC Field. Shot forward here. The slice ends up, though, with Pettit off the foot of Abigail Page out of the back. Send forward. And Pettit looking to spring Canistra. Relatively quiet here. Canistra not a ton offensively. 1 or 2 opportunities for Midwestern State. Miss hit there. Sena Garcia tried to slide onto it. Rattlers take possession away. Out of the back, launch forward by Ashley Dozier. Out of bounds, quick throw, Midwestern. With Salinas. Came off the head of Bailey. Page whistled for a foul, 4th of the game for the Rattlers, 1st of the second half. Rattlers sustaining the late injury to Narvaez, who was knocked to the ground by Sarah Stewart. She was playing out there on the right side, and certainly this club will miss her in the second half, as Marsalek is missed for the Mustangs. Helium from Salinas. And this is going to stay pushing forward to the corner. Go the Mustangs. Opportunity here for Midwestern State. Wind has picked up quite a bit since we started. Bending the flag on the near side where Garcia brings it, the sophomore from Albuquerque, with the second corner here of the game for the Mustangs. This will be their first into the wind. Played it a little short toward the box, just in front of the goal on a low line last time. Boots this to the far side. Hit for the Mustangs and a hit for the Rattlers. Jar it out. Still loose top of the box. Still dangerous, but less so. Oh, on the post there. A Rattler's skull able to get on it and just jar it out. Second time we've taken one away toward the mouth of the goal that might have gotten past Longford. The second chance for the Mustangs. Leaks loose. Booted out. Maldonado got it to Olsen, tries to play it back. Skipping past one in the middle of the field, kept alive. Now disrupted by Garcia. Mustangs early in the first half had control. Early in the second half here, again, trying to light the candle. Very early opportunity by Maldonado and Whitaker. But Mustangs responding in kind. Almost puncturing this scoreless game, but still we stay here at 0-0. Page steps in front. Shot. Goes putting. Bailey kept it in. Mustangs wanted a whistle. Olsen scoops it up. Page to Maldonado. Little room here. Shot. Trying to close it down. Maldonado heel pass. Wanted Page. Picked off instead, though, by Salinas. Boots it toward her own bench. 39-08. No goals, but no shortage of excitement here tonight. SBC Field, the place to be. This is the first time the ladies have truly been under the lights. Really just our second true night game. Under the bright lights of the park at St. Mary's. Men had one against Dallas Baptist a week ago. Won that 3-2 before taking down St. Edwards. Over the weekend, Morlock stepping through. Gives it back to Salinas. Leaks, top of the box, dangerous there. Ultimately swept out of bounds. Copeland out of the back. No choice, just punches it out. Little dangerous there. Left rolling toward the top of the rectangle, and luckily the Mustangs not ultimately able to make something of it. They'll have another try here on the toss. 38-03. And still to go. Would have two 10-minute overtime periods. Mustangs again making things interesting here. Putting it in the bank vault. Some pushing in the corner. There's a whistle, and this will be booted out. Page was trying to run onto it. And more from Bailey than was necessary. Push in the back. Bailey will have to settle down. Again, 6 fouls to the Mustangs in that first half. It was, in terms of time of possession, just a slight edge for the Mustangs. 54% of the total possession for them, 46% for St. Mary's. 1 yellow card, 1 red card for the Midwestern State Mustangs. Did a decent job, I thought, of controlling it in the middle of the field. Both teams really about even in the middle of the field, but chances a little more plentiful for the Rattlers, just not able to make anything of them. Look here for the Mustangs. 2 on the wall for St. Mary's. Reboot by Salinas. Goes over to her bench. Spence giving the instruction. Salinas with the left foot. All the way toward the goal. It was off the feet there of Morlock and slips loose. Turns around, fires it back toward the middle of the box. Some jostling and a whistle. This will come out. Looked like it was Bailey again who was in the center of that. Bailey, the one who jarred in the middle of the box off the initial attempt there by Salinas. Another opportunity game after Morlock couldn't control it cleanly. Longford tries to play it long toward Page, over her foot and out of bounds. Wind now also blowing right to left as well as crossfield, far side to near side, so it's maybe a little bit at the backs of the Mustangs. Tossed by Salinas, controlled by Canistra. Salinas looking to turn in the middle of the field. Heaton sends it right to the Rattlers. Whitaker boots over the top. This one runs onto the fairway and ultimately into the rough. About 10 gone by, second half. Exciting match. You do get the feeling that someone's going to break this tie before the 90 expire. Bailey here. Takeaway in fairly deep. Centering in Longford. Able to pounce on this. Excellent work. And keeper again. Falls on one here. And clearing this up like those healing crystals did with my eczema from July 2014 to February 2015. Now on the other side, the Rattlers trying to go there through Olsen to Page, or pardon, Malui to Page. Now it's Olsen who picks it up. Touches it forward. Spun by Maldonado toward the middle, taken away by the Mustangs. This is going to come out. Fouls galore, both teams. And most of them just trying to win possession. Three in the first half, couple now for the Rattlers in the second. Good takeaway here. Maldonado trying to run onto something in the far side and poked out of bounds. That latest foul was on Alessandra Rivera as she tried to win it toward the top of the box. 7 total fouls now, and that was actually the third of this second half for the Rattlers, so 6 now for St. Marys, 7 for Midwestern State. 2 corners each side, 3 saves Midwestern, 1 save for the Rattlers. 3 shots on goal to 1, 5 to 2 in total shots, pretty even. Here's an opportunity, but not on the same page. Wanted Whitaker. And toward that far side, and Pettit comes out to scoop it up. Not on the same page. Passing just has not been as crisp as these Rattlers would like, but again, some changes to the formation once again. 4-4-2 here today against Midwestern State. Boot runs long off the foot of Pettit. Bounced out of bounds. Mustangs are going to have a chance to sub here. She will come on. It's Valentina Carvajal, starter in this game. Comes in for Bailey, who's had some opportunities. Wind, not vicious, but certainly impactful here. Catapult in, goes long. State can't control. Good defense by the Rattlers. Another sub for the Mustangs. Going to come on to the next opportunity. That'll be Avery Lewis here momentarily. Punch in, ends out. Morlock again will restart it, but first it will be that chance for Lewis to come on. Number 8, Kelly Canistra out. Just under 32 to go here. Regulation at least. Morlock got it in off a Mustang foot, pretty much in the same spot. Morlock will try to keep it pushing forward. Ladies here against Oklahoma Christian. That's a much earlier start, 1 o'clock on Saturday. Some chance for rest tomorrow. but won't have to travel. Stay here. Midwestern State headed back home after this. Mustangs looking to snap a 6-game slide. Last year they had 1 conference win, 2-13-3 overall. They've got 1 overall this year. Still looking for that LSC victory in 2019. Can the Rattlers make something of this? Out of the gumball machine. Another pass behind an attacker. Page can't quite scramble back to it, and unable to scramble forward for it was Dozier. Mustangs will do some substituting again. This should be Hannah Morrison who comes on here for Vanderloo. Salinas forward. Good win, middle of the field. Olsen, heel. Actually, that was Malua in the win. Tapped it to Olsen. Step over, clever there. By shot. Picked off, though. Sent forward by Dozier. Mustangs fighting for it, middle of the field. I think Olsen here will be whistled for a foul, 7th of the game for St. Marys, and it will be coming out after she got tangled there with Carvajal. Indeed, it is Olsen who's cited here. Morlock, middle of the field. Coasts it up. Driven to the outside. Tries to send it forward. And it is out of bounds on that far side. Flick on here. Nothing doing. Page trying to run through it. Midwestern State wanted a handball. No whistle. Bad shot here. Garcia tapped it to Lewis and just sent it long and wide. Did look like Page maybe touched that with a hand. There was a similar play first half, later stages of it, where it looked like Midwestern State might have gotten a hand on the ball in a similar area. But there was no whistle there either. There is a substitute here. Trey Permillion on. Page does go off. Longford boot. 28:30 to go. First half was scoreless. Second half so far, same deal. Bad settle off the goal kick. Trying to get it to Lewis again. Longford easy enough to scoop it up. It was deflected there in the back. Longford going to send it out. 28-13. Longford goes long. Micah Wilson trying to send it forward, deflected back by the Rattler defense. Morlock taps it to the outside. Morlock playing where Marsalek was in the first half. I suppose really she would have switched to the other side. I guess for the second half that would be a shot, as well as Salinas out there. Marsalek though out of the game. Red card. Can the St. Marys Rattlers take advantage of that? Still have not shown it on the scoreboard. Have had a couple of attacking chances. One in the very first minute of this second half. How about that? Good step through. Here we are. Oh, wonderful. But the shot is deflected and out of bounds. Maldonado, after the takeaway, could not quite find a way to get that on frame. Deflected out of bounds after the defensive work there was done by Permillion. Something opening up again, perhaps. Perhaps not, though. Shot helps Jared loose. Carvajal. Pestered here by Dozier. Swung toward Morlock. With the right foot going over the top. Once Lewis. Lewis running onto it. Taps the brakes. Looking for real estate. And Longford able to defuse the threat. Stopping it up like that deer chili I tried to pour down the bathroom sink. Bad idea, but tasty deer chili, I'll tell you that much. Longford, she's had a good game so far and keeping the shutout intact. Heck of an effort there. Had to have the quick reflexes. Lewis sent it pretty close to her, but still got to make the save on a laser. The St. Marys goalkeeping staff has registered one shutout this year, but nothing doing in terms of shutouts at home. They did shut out Texas A&M International 1-0 back on the 11th of September, so almost exactly 1 month ago. Attacking effort not clean, slipping over the ball here. Dozier, loose middle of the field. Chance developing. Maldonado trying to win it in the box. Sent back in by Permillion, but it does end up out of bounds. A couple of good runs here from Permillion to Maldonado. It's just difficult, though. It's Midwestern State Club. Obviously, they're at the disadvantage in terms of attacking and are just trying to keep this scoreless for as long as possible so they can maybe spring something over the top. Substitution here. Out of the game, Rivera. Into the game, Rich. Winds up now to 18 miles per hour. Far side to near side as well as right to left. Good takeaway. Olsen. In the corner, Permillion. Sent to the ground. Maldonado looked like she might have a play on it, but there was a whistle. Maldonado did flick it past the keeper, but the play dead. An opportunity is going to come here for the Rattlers. Whitaker on the boot here. 2 on the wall, side of the box. Leah Whitaker. She's taking all these set pieces, corners. Looks like she wants to serve it. Can she give the attackers enough time to make that run? Can they get on the same page? Timing has to be perfect. And it's sent again behind the attackers. That's been a problem all night for the Rattlers. Still, though, chance in the middle of the field. And easy doings for Pettit to wrap this up. Well, another good look. Set piece opportunity, and Rattlers just not able to capitalize. Not the cleanest in terms of chances, but a decent look. Again on the other side, Lewis trying to center. Rattlers having none of it. Can we move quickly here on the counter? Trying to keep it pinned in, the Mustangs. The St. Marys turning it loose on the outside. Morlock on the defense here for Midwestern. Here's a boot. How about this? Run per million. Puts it on frame, but Pettit not too much trouble scooping it up. Per million giving some problems to this Midwestern State side, and certainly there they do miss Marsalek, their steady freshman defender. Permillion playing in place of Narvaez, causing plenty of problems. She's sent to the grass there. Hard hit by Randy Heaton, the 5'4" sophomore midfielder from Westminster, Colorado. Got her pretty good. Half of the second half gone by now, 22:07. Still to go regulation. Do still have the feeling that a late goal will come for one of these clubs. With the numbers advantage, you'd have to think St. Marys. Permillion toes it in the middle. Morlock extinguishes the candle. Rattlers trying to relight the fire out of the gumball machine. Bachelet slipping and falling. Lewis losing her balance, trying to poke it away. Bachelet runs it into Morrison. Runs it forward. Again, Rattlers. Rattlers! And there is a flag that goes up. Just have not quite been on the same page here. That was Olsen bursting forward and just a touch too early out the foot of Maldonado. One of the best looks that the club has had, certainly since that first minute of the second half. Goes to naught, but on the offsides, boots. Rattlers take it right back. Mustangs say we can play that game. Trying to twirl it out, Garcia. Carvajal, middle of the field. Loops one forward. Both teams having trouble just keeping the balance right now. Morrison tried to play it forward to the Rattlers, but again whistled off. This time Maldonado. Morrison was the one who slipped on the other end. 2 subs each club. It's going to be Micah Williams and Taylor Reck for St. Marys, and then for Midwestern State, Canistra Machado going to check on for the club in black and gold. Olsen punches forward. Morlock sends a Rattler to the ground hard. Maldonado taking quite a bit of contact there from Morlock, and this will be one of the best angles you're going to get. Not too far out. Whitaker here will face 4 on the wall. All will face the ball here. 3 poised right on the top of the box. Plus a couple short here. How will the Rattlers play it? Copeland right next to it as well. Whitaker's taking all the set pieces. Will it be her right foot or Copeland's left foot? It's Copeland. And she just skied it. Over the bar. Opportunity right there. And just put a little too much helium in it. Looks like one more sub. Vanderloo is going to come on for Canistra. Or pardon, with Canistra and Machado here for Midwestern State. Reck, Williams on for St. Marys. 5 subs in total. Just under 19 left in regulation. Perhaps a squandered opportunity there for the Rattlers, but it's still pretty plentiful. And with Marsalek out of the game, just 9 plus the keeper for Midwestern State. Still have to think this game favors St. Marys. A lot of fouls, and you do wonder if maybe the game would turn on a foul. Olsen sending a Mustang to the grass there. All these fouls, close to 20 of them in the game. Just wonder if one of those whistles will really impact it. Keeping the ball there was Machado. Able to get it back toward Carvajal. Her shot just bounces right to Longford, who had that save against Lewis. We've had a header at the post. We've had the Rattlers whistle back for offsides and skying one over the bar. We've had a lot of chances each squad. Hard to believe this game is still 0-0, but credit the keepers. And I think credit the whistles as well a little bit. All the fouls have made it hard to completely get momentum, but it has been on both sides. 2 cards in this game, 1 yellow, 1 red, sending Marsalek away. Can the Rattlers make something here? On the far side, sliding doors don't open quite to our liking, but a corner going to come. And it will be with these 18-mile-per-hour winds at the back. 17-10, second half. It's Bachelet who's going to take this corner. Bachelet. Punched by Pettit, loose. Shot, and it's blocked by the Mustangs in front, and ultimately cleared toward the end line. Opportunity there on a second chance. Pettit has shown a predilection to punch rather than catch. And her defense was able to get in front of that. Olsen out, Frank in here. Second chance, almost netting it for the Rattlers. Could a third try off the throw. Find the back of the net. Certainly with Frank in the game, you think our chances increase. Mustangs able to spin it out. Boot forward by Garcia, headed back by the Rattlers. On the push, Bachelet trying to thread a needle. Morlock steps in front. Jarred loose. Kept on the sideline by Machado. Centering effort. Goes nowhere. Out of the corner. Good ball by Williams. Had the assist out of the corner last week. This time headed away by the Mustangs again. More pressure by this Rattler attack, but nothing doing. Sub for the Mustangs is Bailey. Out is Vanderloo again. 15:05 still to go on the official game clock. Still plenty of time for each team to make its case for why this game should end in regulation, but those chances will be fewer and far between. Stepping in front there, Permillion forces it out of bounds. Over the top, Machado runs it into Williams. Sent forward. Opening up, Frank. Sarah, top of the box, one to beat. Centers, tipped by Pettit, loose. Shot it, it's going to be a diving stop by Pettit. Oh, wow. Olsen there, the top of the box. And Pettit turns it away. Credit Pettit. Perfect look. And Pettit just was not having it. Wow. Gabby Olsen helping us at least get another on frame, helping us get another corner. Bachelet on it again. Pettit still punching right to a Rattler. Not settled cleanly and sent away by Midwestern State. Wow. Machado just across the timeline. She's got a runner for her. Carvajal, she elects to go to the far side instead. Carvajal, they try to get it to her head. Bailey on the chance, the crossing chance there runs a little bit long. Well, I'll tell you, it has at least been exciting here, especially in the last couple of minutes. Rattlers piling up chances. Olsen with maybe the best of the game. Permillion out here. Piercy in for St. Mary's. One as well here for Midwestern State in the substitution game. Great save by Pettit, but one does wonder on some of these corners if she would be better suited trying to catch it than punch it. Almost gave another opportunity off the corner. Rattlers couldn't make anything of it. It is Heaton for Garcia. That was the other sub there by Midwestern, and it looks like St. Mary's is going to send a sub here before this throw-in. 12:43 to go, still 0-0. Wow. Just a hard-fought match that has featured a great effort from both sides. Rec out, Lawrence on now for St. Mary's. Still a long ways to go. Wondering if we might have our first overtime of this regular season at Sigma Beta Chi Field for either the men or the women. Have not gone to overtime yet here at home. Picking up some loose change here. Machado tries to roll that in the box, and the Rattlers able to get some clearance, get some breathing room. Going to stay with the Mustangs on a toss. Right now, 12-4 in terms of shots. Rattlers favored heavily in that category, 5-3 shots on goal. Now it is 5 saves for Pettit, 3 for Longford. 18 fouls in the game, 10 of them for Midwestern State. They also have both the cards, yellow and red. Let's make this 19 fouls. St. Marys challenging there. Looked like Frank trying to contribute defensively. Gives a chance for Midwestern State to reboot. And if not in the danger zone here, at least in the waiting room to the danger zone. Mustangs try the luck. Longford trying to punch. Ultimately scooping it up. Good job, Longford. Rolls it out. Rattlers want to get moving here. Williams looking to inch it forward into the far corner. There's a whistle and a flag did go up. Wow, offsides, and that was close. But it narrowly bails out Midwestern State here. They will come out with it. October 10th, 10-10, and just about 10 minutes to go. Here at SBC Field, before we find our way to overtime, Frank disrupts. Out of bounds. Lone Star Conference game, both sides. Conference schedule has not been kind to either team so far, but a win would certainly go a long way, and some momentum for St. Marys before really going into this long stretch at home. Some dates out of town as we get toward next week, but the majority of the games from here on out in October right here at home and into the month of November. A lot of time at SBC Field trying to get this long stretch at home really off on the right foot after slipping against Texas A&M International. Fight for the ball, middle of the field. Clever turn, but I think the Rattlers will give this back to the Mustangs. About a quarter shy of 9 here in San Antonio. Morlock on the toss. Frank pokes it toward the middle of the field, and something will open up here. Piercy's on a run. Rattler stopped up briefly. Maldonado emerged with it briefly. Sent away, though, by the Mustang back line. Williams brings it out of the air. And plays it back, gets it back. Touch forward. Piercy trying to stave off a defender. That was Salinas. Poked out of bounds. Williams trying a quick toss. Subs coming on. Looks like one for each team. Have to rethrow this. It's Whitaker on for St. Marys. It's Avery Lewis back on for Midwestern State. Williams trying to get it back off the throw, disrupted by Midwestern State. Jarred forward by Riley Kinney. Mustangs out of the air trying to get the head on it was Heaton. Launched forward into the near corner. This goes rolling all the way toward the flag. It will be a toss for, looks like Williams going to come back to get it for the Rattlers. 7:51 left in regulation. Williams over the top and off a Rattler, head out of bounds. We'll give Midwestern State a chance. We'll put some pressure on with Senna Garcia coming back in the game. She's on here for Carvajal. Go to Lewis. Fortunate bounce for her, stays with it. Lewis centering. Rattlers get it out. Frank trying to run onto it. Salinas plays it back, gets it back. Garcia, quarterback. There's a little chipping. Ends up out of bounds. Piercy takes the toss. Looked like it was toward the Mustang Garcia. Senna ultimately able to pull it down. Salinas got it forward, looking for Lewis. Jarred loose, runs past Frank. One at Maldonado. Garcia scoops it up. Rattler back line again takes it away. 6.5. Swung toward the far side. Maybe got caught up in the wind. Again, about 18 miles per hour right now. Real blustery. Good takeaway by the Rattlers. Copeland poking it toward the far sideline. Another chance, and it runs across the mouth of the goal. A laser. Like Frank was in the area. But ultimately, just through the middle of the box, nothing more. Ran all the way out of bounds. Wow. Another opportunity. Bachelet making something happening out of the back. These attacking efforts just not quite synchronized with St. Marys. Close, but not quite there. Williams lets it run out of bounds. Lewis tried to save it out, though. And it is the Rattlers who will toss it in. Williams got it there toward Olsen off of her head. Turned by Lewis. Wanted Canistra down the near sideline. Williams another opportunity to inbound here as we go to 5 remaining. Whitaker out of the air. Touches it back through Copeland. Outside, Bachelet trying to send it forward. Whistle here is going to give it back to Midwestern State. Looked like it might be something promising for St. Marys. Ultimately, though, nothing. And I guess actually it's going to stay with St. Marys. Foul after the pass. Bachelet was fouled by Emma Bailey, so we do keep it just inside the timeline. Not a bad place to tee it up from. Why not push it toward the top of the box? Morlock waiting there, though. Whitaker trying to get it outside toward Williams. Rolls it loose and out of bounds. Salinas pushes it in. Lewis trying to make a turn. Kinney, good defense. Pokes it out. Was that off Kinney? They will say no. Or pardon, off Lewis. They will say no. It was off Kinney, so it stays with Midwestern. Thought for a second it might be off Lewis. Wasn't. Mustangs trying to center. Chance just outside the box by Garcia. Lasers it, though, right into the waiting hands of Longford. .324 still in regulation. Got to orchestrate something here. Looking long toward Piercy. Pettit comes out to dash some hopes. Whistle behind the ball. And I guess Piercy must have gotten the keeper there, Pettit. It'll be a restart from just outside the box on the other end of the field. Taken toward the far side by Schott. Wanted Morlock. Jarred out of bounds. Rattlers not going to have too many more chances. Morlock will do the throwing for Midwestern State. Pressure is going to have to come. Still with the numbers advantage, St. Marys. Could we get one more opportunity here in the final 2.5 to try to keep this game from overtime? Tangle here. And a familiar sound. Game that has featured 20+ fouls. Bachelet sighted here just inside midfield, and would Midwestern State try their luck? Go to the near side. Canistra trying to get to it, runs out of bounds. 2 minutes. Symphony has to start here for St. Marys. Instruments are going to have to come out. Piercy trying to run onto this. Control. Advantage here. Frank calling for it. Piercy tried to push it forward. Deflected off a Mustang. Curling back. Maldonado wanted Frank. Morlock just gives it the old boot. Lewis trying to run onto it. I think that's got too much mustard behind it, though. And it is going to be long here off the Mustangs, and it is going to be out of bounds. 78 seconds still left in the hourglass. 2 10-minute overtime periods. Golden goal rules would await us. If no one can score in the way late stages of this one, Lewis can't keep it in. A minute to go. Rattlers poke it out. Frank ends up with it. Can't get anything across the timeline. Deflects back. Olsen picks it up. Trying to spring Maldonado. Deflected to Frank. Still time. 45 seconds. Serena going toward the far side. Not a bad idea. Contact there as Lawrence tried to run onto it. Pettit grabbed it. Lewis, other side with the head. Bounces it forward. Picked up. Olsen, 20 seconds. Cleared back onto the Rattler end of the field by Wilson. Runs all the way to Longford. 10 seconds. Longford mishits one. This one does end up out of bounds, but Spence is just telling his club, let's just let it tick away and head on to overtime. For the first time this season here at SBC Field. 0-0 here in the first half. We're going to golden goal here in just a few minutes. We'll take a break on the Rattler Athletic Network and come back in just a few minutes with a little more about overtime. This is St. Marys Rattler Soccer right here on KSAT 12 and the Rattler Athletic Network. Stay with us. We're back in just a few.
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions.
And to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable. Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out. With our new mobile weather station, expect live storm tracking from both our studios.
Overtime for the first time here at Sigma Beta Chi Field this season, either the men or the women. Neither club so far has gone to overtime. That's changing as we speak as the Rattlers and the Mustangs of Midwestern State go to a golden goal overtime session. 10 minutes and then a break and then another 10 minutes. If nobody scores, this game will end in a 0-0 draw. If anyone scores at any time, ball game is done, and one of these programs is going to get its first Lone Star Conference win of 2019. 22 fouls in regulation. Rattlers outshot Midwestern 13-5, 5-4 in terms of on frame, but some good goalkeeping by Pettit, some missed opportunities from the Rattlers, and playing well as well on the other end. Longford and the Rattler defense pretty sharp in the back, both in terms of stopping and passing. In the back here with it, Copeland trying to swing it forward to the far side. And a bad job clearing here right off the bat. Rattlers! This one leaking through. It's over! Mostaza! We're going home! Squishing it like a pillowcase full of cheap mayonnaise. Rattlers win it. An incredible quick sequence, just 32 seconds into the game. Leah Whitaker, top shelf, how about that? Holy moly, Rattlers victorious. My word, Whitaker, top of the box and the top of the refrigerator. What a moment. What a moment and what a finish. Unbelievable. Well, we play a little overtime. And by a little overtime, that's all I mean. 32 seconds officially gone by in overtime before this one is headed toward the exits. Wow, what a moment, what a game. We'll have to double check here. But I believe that Leah Whitaker with the first golden goal of the season is going to be the Pizza Patron player of the game. Obviously, Longford would certainly have a chance at that as well. We'll stay on air as we go ahead and figure that out. But, wow, mishandle in the back, a chance to clear for Taylor Schott. And Schott just did not do it. Could not quite get the handle on that. And the opportunity presented itself on that far side to center. I believe it was Lawrence who started the initial opportunity from the far side. Leaked across the top of the box. And a misplay by Schott really opened up the whole opportunity. But you got to credit Lawrence there for fighting and winning the ball. We had had several opportunities like that throughout the game in terms of just putting together chances there in the box. Some of them turned away by Pettit, some of them just not great finishes. But in the end, a spectacular one and a W for St. Marys. Again, the official time is 90-32 into the game, 32 seconds into overtime after the squads went to the break after regulation, scoreless at 0-0. And just an incredible moment as this club is able to get the W here today. St. Marys does win it. And the girls gather up, middle of the field. And this might spur this team on. 3-6 now on the year, 1-3 Lone Star Conference play. 1-8-1 now are the Mustangs. They will stay winless Lone Star Conference play, and both came in really needing a win. And in the end, a phenomenal goal to end the ball game. And I think that does take folks a little bit by surprise. It's easy to catch them on their heels right out of the gate there in the quick stages like that of the overtime period. And it will be Whitaker, who is our Pizza Patron player of the game. Make sure you do go over to Pizza Patron for a Rattler Tuesday. That's just around the corner, 20% off. Whitaker with the golden goal to finish this off. Lawrence does officially get the assist, and that's all we needed. What a ball game. Rattlers outshoot the Mustangs thoroughly, 14-5, 6-4 on frame. A game that featured 2 cards, including 1 red, and ultimately featured a golden goal. Does end up finishing this game. Whitaker, what a ball game, and what a finish there by Whitaker. And obviously the club for Midwestern State without Marsalic after the red card late in the first half. That loomed large, had the numbers advantage, and her absence, I think, certainly felt. Credit Lawrence with a great play after Shot misplayed it, and then Whitaker with the top shelf finish. We're done tonight on KSAT 12, ABC, as well as the Rattler Athletic Network. Joey Zanaboni signing off live from San Antonio, saying thanks so much for listening and watching. We're going to catch you Saturday, opening tap, 1 p.m. Until then, so long. Good night from St. Marys University.